the Social Selling Forum, the first online English-speaking social selling forum. Yeah, we already did 4 of them in English, even in Melbourne, in Australia sometime, yeah. But this one is the first, which is online. It is mostly dedicated to Swiss people who speak English, either from a more German language background like Martin, who is here, or from a French background like Stéphane. I think you're from a French background, or myself, or David. Betty, are you from a German background, or
No,
what?
I'm from Colombia, actually.
Oh, for Colombia, that's fine. So I hope we will have a very nice day today, sharing stuff about how to leverage social networks to sell ourselves, and to be attractive to recruiters, or to be attractive to customers and partners and whatever. And Anne, who is here right now, is at the origin of this session. She is, by the way, she's looking for a job in Switzerland. Anne, yeah, are you still?
Yes, I'm in good discussions right now, yes.
Yeah, good. So, and she is at the forefront of this session, together with Gabor Markus, who should join us during the day, because like all Swiss, like Martin, for example, is over busy today. I'm also over busy, but it's okay. So now let me make a small roundtable to start, and then some people will arrive from until 8, because this starting session is more to look at who you are and ask questions to the participants who are already very early in the morning with us. So Siri, Abu, Eduardo, Marilyn, Olivier, Christina, Céline, and the others. So first, let me... Hey, Olivier, okay, see you, it's very nice. You can speak, Olivier, you can say hello.
Little bit early to say anything, but
so why are you here? Why are you here, Olivier? What are you looking for in this social selling forum?
Well, as I told you the other day, I have launched my new activity of consultant, and I'm assisting entrepreneurs to find the best ways to boost their sales on the local market, mainly in Geneva. Sorry, I'm in Geneva for those who don't know me.
Yeah, and feel free.
Sorry.
Yeah, and feel free to interact and to step up in the round tables, because we do not have a lot of speakers today acting together in all the round tables. So some of you participants may jump in. Okay, no problem. And you can also at any time ask questions, but raise your hand when you want to ask a question. It's better. And better, by the way, you can raise the virtual hand that you have. And if you listen to us on LinkedIn already at this hour, please come join us in Zoom. It's much better for interacting, because you see Charlene Bakehe or Eduardo, it's better from Norway, or Charlene from wherever. It's better that you come to Zoom. You just click on the link and you can enroll in a second and join us. Eduardo is here, by the way. Yeah, Eduardo. It's better to speak now inside Zoom, Eduardo. So tell us why you're here, Eduardo.
Yeah, like I've been following you and what you do, and I like that. And today it just popped up that you was live, and I love that. I think we should do that more, like this kind of live Zoom sessions, because I have my podcast, but it's usually pre-recorded, so I don't get the chance to interact. And I think this format is amazing. So I've done a lot of sales in my life, so I have a lot of sales kind of stories.
So you can share them, by the way. And for those of you who don't still know Clubhouse is a new kid on the block in terms of social networks, where you as a podcaster can really continue showing your voice. You should try Clubhouse, and if you don't have an invite, I may invite you. Okay, look at what Clubhouse is. Who is already on Clubhouse here? Oh, Betty, David, and Bashi, of course. Bashi, who's just joined us, is one of our first keynote speakers today after Gabor. Okay. Before we introduce the speakers and the session, I want to continue the roundtable with the participants who show their face, like Tina. Tina, hello, Tina. It's a nice cup of tea. Why are you here with us? What is your objective today?
Hello. I am very interested
and I'm curious to hear about you more.
Where do you come from? You come from which country do you come from? From Switzerland?
Yes,
the German
I'm based
part,
in Switzerland, in Basel.
In Basel, yeah, it's near my home place, which is Strasbourg, and I worked in Mulhouse also a long time ago. Okay, good. Nice. Any other participant who is already there who wants to show his or her face, like Siri? Abu, I saw you a while back. Marilyn, if you want to say why you're here, or Celine, or Christina, anything you want to add? Don't do it on the chat only. Because here, now, if you don't want to show your face today on streaming on Twitch, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on Twitter, don't show your face then, yeah? Okay? So, Olivier, it's nice you show your face. Who else showed his face or her face? Nobody else from the participants so far? Okay, it's very early in the morning. So I'm still waiting for Gabor, but he should be here before 8. So that he can start his keynote. Otherwise, I will ask Bashi to start. Huh? Bashi, how are you today?
Hi, everybody. I'm really great. I had a crazy week still since January. It's really crazy. And I'm very happy, Loic Simon, that I can participate today with you again, because we did together the first social selling forum in Switzerland, the physically in Swiss-German part. Now I'm right. I know.
Yeah, it's the first in Zurich, because we did some before in Geneva, by the way. Yeah. And in Geneva with Gabor, we already did a few physical one in the flesh. And perhaps we will start again. But I think in the next, future, it will be hybrid. Sorry, continue, Bashi. Sorry.
Gabor is here, so I'm not worried that I need to start, even if it's no problem. Yes, the social selling time is crazy. People starting to get the coin, to start thinking about it. We talking about this since I talk since 10 years about this, but the big companies, they are starting to move, and I will tell about a few things in my session, of course.
Yeah, because so far, from my experience, it's mostly the small guys who have been doing a lot of good social selling. When I say the small guys, SMBs or consultants, coaches, educate people who educate or whatever. Yeah. Okay, Gabor, you are here. You are the second co-organizer of this session with Anne. So why did you want to continue organizing social selling forum in an online fashion and in English?
So, good morning, everyone. Grüezi miteinander. Bonjour. Buongiorno. That were the most national languages. Nice to meet you. Sorry, it's through screens. Social selling has demonstrated its value and its strategic importance since the COVID outbreak. Why? Because I love you, Loic. You're one of the best guys I ever had in my life. No, it's trendy, and I think as already mentioned, it's something hot. There is a lot of interest and needs currently in the Swiss market. And the fact that we can challenge ourselves with experts, that's always a great opportunity.
Yeah, I know. And Anne, you will tell us why you really wanted me to organize an English-speaking, mostly for Zurich, by the way, because you want to work in this German-speaking area, I understand, yeah? So why did you want us to organize this?
Yeah, I'm living in the German part, so near Zurich, and here in Zurich, and I know it's all over Switzerland, there are a lot of expats. And since, as you know, we in Switzerland have 4 official languages, between Geneva and Zurich, often they use English to understand each other, and also with the expat that don't necessarily speak the local language, we speak English together. So we thought that if we do this session in English today, we will touch much more people, because we can also bring in, the expats, which are very numerous and very interested in getting tips to find a job more efficiently.
By the way, this is not really true. It's not because you use a common language denominator or something like that that you will attract more people. It's much easier, according to me, to attract German-speaking or Schweizerdeutsch speaking people if you do a Schweizerdeutsch kind of forum in Zurich. And if you do a French forum like we do with Gabor in Geneva, et si vous faites un forum en français à Genève, and if you do perhaps an Italian one together, yeah, I think then you attract even more people, and contrary to what we may think. That's my perspective. But it's okay. I like trying new stuff. I like doing it the way we do. At least we focused it on Switzerland and not in English-speaking all around the world kind of forum, because we would have even less people, I would say, contrary to what we think. That's my perspective, honestly. I do a lot of forums which are really localized, like in Annecy, for example, or in Grenoble, and this works better. Yeah, just to tell you. Okay? Okay, who wants to go? Martin, you are the one who answered me the first among the HR-focused people. Why are you here today, despite the fact that you are overburdened? Put your mic on.
Yes, I just realized that my mic is off. Actually, we have a busy time as headhunters because companies are really looking hard for good people, and this makes my life very challenging. And I'd like to share some of my insights I have of the labor market. I would like to share some of the knowledge I have how to find the right people. And this means also the knowledge how people can find the right job. This is a great opportunity to talk to people. We often have difficulties to find people with enough language skills. And therefore, I'm interested to meet new people.
Yeah, so you can check if we speak English fluently or not, by the way. Yeah, I don't, but it's okay.
My English is not perfect, but I understand everything and can talk.
It's even better when you have a French or German person speaking English, because it's easier for us to understand, I think, typically, than a pure Southern guy from the US, whatever, or whatever. Okay, let's continue with David, because we are in the hiring business or in the HR business. David, why?
Hi, everybody. I'm very happy to be here, and thank you so much, Loic, for the invitation. So I tried today to help people finding smart solutions and smart hints to find a job in Switzerland, thanks to LinkedIn. I'm in the business of employment since 2009, I would say, yes. I wrote a book called, in French, sorry, just in French for the moment, called Travailler et vivre en Suisse, which is sold to 25,000 copies now, for now. So it's the 6th edition. And I also have a website which is in the French part area of Switzerland, which is well known and called travaillerensuisse.ch. And then I have a traffic, and I would say 1.5 million users per year. So it's not that much, but it's not. Yes, I'm happy with that. And most of the time, I really try to help people finding a job. So I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you. Before I hand over the mic to Betty, she will finish. We don't have enough women today among the speakers. I'm really sorry. But on Monday, we did a social selling forum, Amazons, where we had 100% speakers who were ladies. And it was just fantastic. I can tell you. If you speak French, you should come back to this replay of the social selling forum Amazon from Monday. It was, amazing. But before I hand you the mic, Stéphane, Bruno, put your mic on. Your mic is on the... Yeah.
Yes, it's good. It's good now. Okay, hello to everybody. Okay, so I'm just here because I'm a recruiter. I'm using especially social networks to recruit because in Switzerland, most of the skills people are coming from foreign states. So that's why we use a lot social networks. I have just one thing to say following Anne, is that the English is only the third professional language in Switzerland. The first two languages are German and French. So, and especially German, around 70%. So it's very important to have some basis on local language. But of course, you can find some good, very good position with on English.
Ja, und jetzt sprechen wir only nur Deutsch hier.
Ja, klar.
Like Roger Bastler, who was one of my coup de coeur, as we say in French, when I was in Zurich last time. For the first time, by the way, doing a forum, because after that, Bashi did some on his own without me. Yeah? Okay, Roger, go on.
So I should talk in German, Deutsch, or Netherlands, Italiano, Español, como quieres?
I would say English.
English is fine.
French. No, you are good in French. You are too good in French. Yes, I know. So speak English. Show us your fluency in English.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. I'm very glad to be here. Welcome, everybody. It's so exciting. It's so early. It's 7:30, but 7:45 by now. I'm very excited to talk to you about the social selling routine. I will get a deep dive after lunch. Actually, I think it's around 1 p.m. I'm very excited as well, because when Loic just asked me, like, do you want to join? I was like, yeah, sure. What are we going to do? And he's like, yeah, we're going to see. So here we are. And I'm very, very excited. Also happy to see Baji here. And Betty, we have a session later. So very excited.
Yeah, by the way, you have a session with me too, in a way, because one of the speakers will not participate today. So I will be with you, with Petra, who is also coming, and with Betty.
Great.
On the session at 10, which is the most important, of course, because where I will deliver a nice small piece of keynote myself this time, which I never do normally, because I'm more in the master of ceremony type of role here, not speaking a lot, apart from now, of course. Okay, Betty, it's a nice transition to you before we talk about developing a strong personal brand, especially during crisis. Go on, Betty.
Sure. So, hey, everybody. Good morning. I'm very happy to be here. And you were talking about languages. And I remember, let me start with this. I remember the first time I was looking for a human resources role in Switzerland. Coming from Colombia, they told me, if you don't speak French, you won't get it. And I'm living in the German part. But guess what? I did got a really nice role in human resources, speaking a little bit of German and Spanish and English. So yeah, it's very interesting. So I am an organizational psychologist. I'm a performance coach, and I'm also a master in counseling. And I'm here because I worked with solopreneurs to help them to go from overwhelmed to taking action. And branding is not something that I direct from the marketing perspective, but from a psychological perspective. Branding is about who you are. So that's what I thought this is a great invitation.
Thank you. And by the way, we already have a question from a podcaster who is always used to speaking, and now he asks you in the chat. Please ask your question live, my friend Eduardo, if you can. Where are you, Eduardo? You left already?
No, sorry. One second. Hola,
Okay.
Betty, un placer. Estuve en Colombia y me gustó harto Colombia, digo, Bogotá. Amazing city, I would say. Okay, now I go back to English. Yeah, I had a question, but maybe I will rephrase the question because you're here. Because to Betty, I think it's more like, how do we handle the shift as entrepreneurs, leaders, now in the remote workplace? Because anxiety is growing, people are feeling like bad. How do we handle that? And how do we motivate the people now that needs to be home? Maybe they lost somebody. Like, how do we keep up motivation remotely? That is my question.
Yeah, if anybody wants to already answer this question, which is not 100% inside social selling, but very related anyway. Yeah, anybody wants to give a... Yeah, Betty, of course, go on.
Yeah, well, I think, there are different things going on right now. And what people are craving to have is true leadership. Just somebody that recognize the vulnerabilities and everything what is going on. So not speaking about what is happening, like anxiety rising, I think is a kind of a lost opportunity. So if we just talk about that, what we are feeling, and we put a voice to that, that is going to strengthen your branding, and that's going to help you people just to feel related to you. So it's all about rapport, isn't it? It's about understanding what the vulnerabilities of your people are. So I think talking about and bringing leadership, like give it the positive spin, it's going to probably help you people to get motivated instead of not talking about it at all, you know?
Yeah, that's my mission, I would say. Humanize leadership and humanize the companies. That is what we need to do. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you for your question.
By the way, you should talk with Didier Reinhardt in French. He's living in Geneva and very into this humanism area. And you know, myself, by the way, I advise everybody to read this book, which is in many languages, Reinventing Organizations. Do you know does anybody know this book? Here? No? Nobody knows? Yeah, it's written by a French guy, by the way, but still. Okay. any other answer to Eduardo from the HR people here? Martin, David, or who? Yeah? Or Stéphane? No? You hear me? Hey, put your mic on.
I think the most important has already been said by Eduardo and Betty about it.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, we will talk about remote working, but we will talk about that in the context of selling, because we are in a social selling arena today, and which means, by the way, leveraging social networks to sell and to attract and to be attractive to customers and to hire to recruitment people and whatever. Yeah. Okay. Or even if we want to sell the lifelong life of people like us on the planet, it's the same thing. You sell something. You sell an idea. You sell a project. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for this. And any other? Let me see if some other speakers have boarded already. No, because they don't speak at 8, so they prefer to have their lunch right now, most of the people. By the way, I remind you that this new social network called the Clubhouse will be a disruptor in the area of talk shows like this one, because many people, they would prefer to stay behind their radio or behind their phone or behind something better than showing themselves, their face on a webcam today. Yeah. Eduardo, that's my perspective, and I saw it already since a few days by being on Clubhouse. Anybody want to give a small insight on Clubhouse, on their experience on Clubhouse before we start? Bashi, go.
Yeah, I have a mixed feeling about what you're saying, because we start Clubhouse for personal branding sessions. We do this weekly, and the January hype was crazy, and now it's it's getting used to it. The people won't attend. They register. They tell us they will come, but there is no chance to, even if you missed, to talk about the story that you talked, because you can't record, you can't talk. So in my opinion, it was a hype. It's still a hype, but it's getting normal again. Like people will attend, but I don't think this is the next big thing. Or against LinkedIn, they don't have any chance, even if you listen.
Okay, what other people have a point of view on this, or a first experience on this? Roger, Gabor, you put your mic on. Gabor, you wanted to say something?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm the typical example, as Bashi just explained. I joined, actually I was pushed by my network to join, but I'm very busy, and I didn't engage, I didn't listen to.
Okay.
And I think it needs to be one of the touch points, but I'm not sure it's addressing my right persona. That's why I'm not targeting hard on this.
Okay. Anybody has a more enthusiastic take on this or not right now?
No, I think, Loic, what you need to do is explain why you are enthusiastic about that. Why are you so excited?
I'm not enthusiastic. I am just curious, and I live a little bit this Clubhouse thing since I would say 10 days now only, because when did you jump in, Bashi? At what time?
That was mid-January, I think.
Okay, and you, Gabor?
I was also January.
Okay, but you did not spend a lot of time on it, yeah, from what I understand. Roger, are you on Clubhouse now?
Yes, I am, yeah.
So
also,
what are you doing there? Anything or?
Well, the thing is, I mean, I don't like Clubhouse, all right? But I like the idea behind, because it really makes people focus again on the spoken word, and you really have to be prepared, but in the same time you also have to react on the people and get on the stage and, you know, get the conversation flowing. However, I think we're not there yet, but it shows us that there is a need, as you said, like that there's a need for people to be really focused and listen to, like in the old days in front of the radio. So there was a time where we really spent a lot of time in front of TVs, in front of radios, and we got inspired by that. And I think Clubhouse is showing us that this medium, this way is also possible. As Bashi mentioned, in terms of personal branding, it's quite important to also know this skill and also this kind of interaction with the audience. However, I'm not 100% convinced with the way Clubhouse is doing it. But I mean, we see the same thing with Twitter Spaces. We see that Facebook is developing some things. We know that LinkedIn has introduced voice messages long time before Clubhouse, and that must be for a reason. And let's see WhatsApp, right? I mean, we send WhatsApp voicemails all over the day, and sometimes I even have to listen to them for like 15 minutes, which is far too long.
Okay, I would advise anybody just to jump on Clubhouse and to look at it with a curious mind and a very open mind, with a very open mind from time to time. Don't be addicted, because it's very, very easy to get addicted to Clubhouse, like with TikTok, when you consume the TikTok flow, you know, what kind of... But I find that it has some of the characteristics I really love in my Zoom sessions with the Social Selling Forum, which is the interactivity with the audience and the capability for anybody like Eduardo, like Mandy, who just joined, and Macy and Tina and Gabriel and others and Jerry, to step up and to speak, and not only to listen to the guys who know everything. Like, for example, here we have Bashi, we have Roger, by the way, who is a very, very, very cool and very efficient, let's say, social seller. Yeah? Okay, not cool, I'm not sure, but Bashi is okay, anyway. And we have Gabor, a little bit more behind and so, but very thoughtful. But the problem is, only listening to us, that's, for me, it's not what Clubhouse and what we do here is providing. And this is why I love Clubhouse from that perspective. And I discuss with people who are really very interesting, and I would not approach them if they were on a stage or in a Zoom calls, on a webinar, you know, the webinar, which is done by Social Schweiz with Bashi Saleh, etc. If it would be like that. So for me, Clubhouse is really cool. And look at one thing. In the US, they started in March last year. Today, you have fantastic rooms on Clubhouse delivered by US people, you know, fantastic from my perspective, with interaction and with a lot of knowledge and a lot of, let's say, authenticity also, which perhaps we don't find enough in Switzerland, I don't know. But in our country, in France, or perhaps in Italy or in others, we are more authentic and more outspoken, perhaps. And I like Clubhouse from the start, I can tell you. But I will not get addicted. That's I promise. Okay. Anyway, last, Olivier, go on, Olivier. You raised your hand.
Yes. Then thanks for the transition, because you know, getting addicted for me is crucially important. Let's not forget that most likely, hopefully, the lockdown will be over quite soon, and that all the activities of our clients will start again at a quite efficient way. And that means that for those who have an important, why not huge professional network, the main thing, the main work, our main task might be on the field very soon. So we have to give priority to the network that we feel the most important and not get drawn into several ones.
Absolutely.
Because we will have very soon, we might have given the priority to social network today, but once the market reopens, we might get absolutely overwhelmed and not be in a position to make the right choices.
Thank you. Eduardo, in 1 second, go on, but very quickly because we start.
I banned myself after one day at Clubhouse. It's too addictive. First of all, people waste too much time on just listening to themselves, listening to others instead of selling and growing their business. That was, some people were proud. They like, Eduardo, I slept only 4 hours and I'm back again. I was like, how can you be proud about that? So
absolutely.
I banned myself now from Clubhouse. This is actually, if Zoom added listing of rooms, it would be Clubhouse with video actually. There is nothing, I'm the digital expert. There's nothing unique with Clubhouse, nothing at all.
Okay, thank you for your perspectives, guys. Now, you may also be addicted with LinkedIn, by the way, and with other stuff, yeah? Okay, but Gabor, I introduce my friend Gabor, who will deliver a nice keynote about marketing automation and social selling. Gabor, in total, you have 28 minutes, including question and answers, which may be good, yeah? By the way.
Right.
Let's listen to Gabor and don't talk. Put your mic on mute, please. Go on, Gabor.
Share my screen or
whatever you want. You do what you want. It's better, of course.
Yeah. So let's share my screen then. In this case,
he knows how to do it. By the way, he did a lot of forums with me. Huh? So do it.
yeah.
And a lot of advertising. You see WSI, this web company who is providing services to you. Okay, share your screen, please.
I'm trying, but it's not working.
No, okay. No, you're kidding or what? You click on écran partagé or shared screen, and then you choose the right screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, choose the right screen and click on the and click again.
Okay.
Otherwise, you will be forced to leave the stage to Bashi and then figure out how you can do it.
Yeah, so if Bashi can share his screen, let's go. Because I can.
No, really?
Not working. But, so it's a one participant at the time, multiple participant, but I cannot share my screen.
But you are the one who can. Nobody.
Maybe like
everybody can share the screen. Everybody. Bashi, try to share your screen. Show him.
In my presentation, I don't need to. That's the funny thing.
That's cool. Hey, no, really?
If I try it, it's working very well.
Working. Hello, it's working by me.
It's working very well on my side.
No, yeah. Okay, so we see Bashi shared his screen. You see, no problem. We see Bashi's screen. So I stop it, but we see it. Okay, so. Can you try again? No? What happens? What is exactly the process? Tell it in 1 second, otherwise you do it without any support, which is good for you.
I will do, don't worry. No, when I click on the button share screen, I have the option. Okay, it's coming up now.
Okay, you see, it works. It's just, he's a little bit... Okay, now you should start your presentation. Excellent, marketing automation and social selling.
Sorry for the little teasing. So as we know, and it was revealed by the COVID outbreak, so our buyers have changed the behavior. They have less time. They are more connected. They are less autonomous to take their decision. And here I'm talking in a B2B perspective, so business to selling another business. It looks like they're better informed. And the worst part for us marketers, sales guy, is that they're less loyal. So basically you have two choices. If you draw what we call the buyer purchasing line, going from 0% at the left to the 100% at the right, it looks like that usually the first contact between the vendor and your buyer is at 2/3 of the journey. It's about 60 to 80%. So you have two choices. Either choice number one, you fight for a war price once the buyer contacts you, or choice number two is you can try to influence your buyer with providing information. And usually at this stage, during the 30-50% of the journey, there is low competition and it's not about the pricing. That's one big issue that you have currently with your customer journey. The second big fight you have usually in organization, that there is two groups of people who are trying to say, I'm generating the leads. On the left-hand side, you have the contender called marketing, who says always the time, you are not following up the leads I'm giving up. And on the right side, you have the sales guy. You are not giving me enough leads. The quality of the leads you're giving are, you know. And so the question is, how can we get rid of all this challenging, knowing that today still 33% of the efficiency of cold calling, which is the most used technique, is really poor. So here comes social selling, right? But before going into this point, I have a question to you, Loic. I'm sure you know the answer. Which is the best social media channel to generate leads?
I would say the one where your client is.
Okay. Any other input? So the answer is really easy. There are several studies, and here is one from HubSpot. It shows that the most efficient from a digital perspective is LinkedIn, and it's 4 times more effective than Twitter and Facebook in this case, because it looks like that you can draw some traffic out of the social platform to bringing on your landing pages to make some conversion. So knowing all these challenges, and which are the best tool. So the question is, what do I need to change me as a salesman? So first thing, and I think we're going to talk a lot about this today, is to develop your personal branding, right? Second thing is really think about doing all your action online. Now we are sitting constantly at home, not that we like to, because we are obliged to. And as Eduardo already asked this morning, is it good or not? I don't know, but that's our day-to-day business and activities. So plan your action online, generate opportunity online, and most importantly, create relation, build trust, right? You need to work on this digital relationship that we are doing since a year now in Switzerland. And when you have done that, you will figure out that you're overwhelmed with a lot of activities, it's time consuming, even it's digitalized and all this. And there is a solution which is called automatization. So here, what I would like to show you is that there are some daily tasks that you can automatize because they are low value, and it will gain some time in your day. So what shall I implement? It's pretty easy. First,
no.
Sorry. Any comment?
No, don't bother somebody. Sometimes let the mic on.
So,
it's okay.
Step number 1, build your personal branding. So personal branding, you will hear a lot. You have to work on your profile. You have to do this and that. And from my perspective, usually your first impression you do on a platform like LinkedIn is through the feed. So the question is, where do I want to appear on the feed? And I make a screenshot of yesterday on my feed. And the question is, shall I be here, here, or here? So that's true that you need to have a good profile, that you need to work on your headlines, on the description, on the experience, on the competency and all this. But there is another big part which is really important, is all the content you're sharing. So on a platform like LinkedIn, you can do articles, you can post, you have even stories now. And from my perspective, I think your content strategy is 80% of your personal brand. So you really have to think about, what do I want to talk about? What is the voice I'm going to address? And how can I engage and interact with all this? That was step number 1. Step number 2 is to develop an audience. So I'm sure you will have a lot of experts today who will show you how to create your network and all this. And you have different features on a platform like LinkedIn, where you can see who are your connection, who saw your profile, what is the second degree of connection you have with this profile. You can also see who is watching your profile, and you can follow groups, company, and all this kind of activity, which can be very time consuming. Guess what? You can automatize them. So here I'm showing a screenshot of a tool I have. And what I do, basically, you will do your navigation, your search on a platform, then you will upload the URL of this search result in this tool, and he will send for you invitation, connection request on a regular basis on the frequency you want with different criteria. So that can be fully automatized. Third topic is share your content and participate to the discussion. So what I do, I create on a regular basis some content. And the good thing for me is I get also some statistics about the content. It's what you can see here. I know which are the company which are looking at my content, which is the sales title, which are the title they have, where are they located. And for me, it helped me to figure out if I'm addressing the right audience, if I'm really targeting the people that I would like to. And then you can see the content, you see the number of impressions, and that's something you can also automatize. Here, that's another screenshot of another tool where you see I have a plan created on my content, and they will be published on a regular basis at the time I like. And that's something you can also automatize. Step number 4, that's a tool like Sales Navigator, where basically, once you know who is your persona, then you can also try to target your company, especially if you're going behind big game. So in a tool like this, you can segment in accounts, which is basically companies, and you can also target them and search them through a search engine. Number 5 is focusing on your target and on your persona. And here you have another tool, also which is Sales Navigator from LinkedIn. And this tool will give you what we call weak signals. They will tell you for the persona you have entered, they will give you signals like when they change job. Usually when people change job, they're very receptive to help, to assistance. You can also know when they have mentioned something in the news, on the feed, or if they have posted something. And all these weak signals are signals that you can put in a workflow in your automatization system to get in contact with them and to continue to build this relationship. And so the 6 steps is all about the context. So when you know that people are changing position, that they participate in some discussion and all this, you will have to have some standard message that you will personalize in order to have a good and sound discussion. And here again, that's something you can automatize. So I am showing here some tools like a message for wishing birthday, or a message to congratulate when they have a job change or a job anniversary. That's all kind of things that you can automatize, and it's just to trigger this discussion. I know I was quick, but I want to leave you guys some room for questions. So in order to summarize, my experience has shown me that there are these different key success factors, which is become your own marketer, personal branding, start with targeting your audience, so know very well who's your persona, consider your network as an asset, and don't spam them, define your content plan. It's all about them. You have to give and give and give, and the more you give, the more you will receive, and it's not about you. Always try to personalize your action. Don't be a robot. And that's the contradiction with this presentation. On one end, I say you can automatize, but on the other end, I say don't be a robot. So what I will try to say here is automate only standard step, low value steps, where you will not look like a robot. And my last takeaway is it's like a sport, social selling. So you have to train, fail fast, and progress. And I think we had a good discussion about that this morning regarding Clubhouse. Some people, among the experts, I'm trying to enter into this Clubhouse. I think most of us have failed, but there's still room for progress. And I'm sure we'll find a way to leverage this new platform. So thank you very much for your attention. I'm Gabor. If you would like to share your SSI with me, I would be happy, so I can give you a few tips if it's any value to you. Otherwise, you can also read our book, which is the 3rd edition now, which is available on Amazon. And now I'm ready for question.
Can I ask a question, Gabor?
Sure.
So
thank you. Wait. Thank you. Who wants to ask a question? Anne? Okay, yes. Go on.
Do you need the way you automate these processes, these messages or the posts, is that available in LinkedIn for free, or do you need a pro version, or is that an extra tool?
Well, there are a few tools I'm using to automatize. So there are some tools to generate these automatic messages. There are some other tools to share content. but it's evolving very fast. So the tools I'm using today was not the tool I used 6 months ago, and most certainly won't be the tool I would use in the next 6 months. So it's very fast evolving environment, and you have to follow the technology and the solutions.
But is it within LinkedIn or is it outside of LinkedIn? Is another tool?
So most of them are outside, but there are some tools like the Features Sales Navigator, which is already in LinkedIn. Yes.
Yeah, when we will talk about streamlining prospecting and account management on LinkedIn at 12, we will talk about some of these tools which help prospect or get hired, by the way, which is the same. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Another question on the part of the participants, like Gabriel, who joined us, or Patrick. Patrick, by the way, got me to Clubhouse. Patrick de Cepibus here. Yeah? He's driving right now. Any question on the part?
Thank you. Like I can't stay for the whole morning, so sorry, I have to leave at 9. It's not a question; it's more a remark. I think that automatizing stuff on LinkedIn is not that good. I'm suffering from getting emails or intro that are so fake, so low in the personalization that it's getting I don't like it. So how do you manage the border between getting a robot with standard email intro to everybody and something that is more personal to show that you're here and not your tools are here?
Right, and that's a very thin line. So it all started with the targeting. When I'm sending my message, I don't spam. I don't send it to 1 million. I have soul segments, and I make sure that when I'm sending the message, it's for instance for the happy birthday, I'm sending only to my first level of connection, and I try to segment by country or by region, and I make sure it's the right language. And then I'm also adding an URL to a landing page. So it's not the message. I say you can click here, and there's a little surprise. If the people they go on my website, and then they have a surprise, a nice picture or something like this, and then they feel that that's like adding value, right?
Okay, it's a good example of birthday because I'm used to send birthday wishes to people, but I do it by myself. Usually during my breakfast in the morning, I scroll LinkedIn and I send wishes. Yeah. And I try not to be always the same. So how do you do? Because if your message is getting out from one year to the other, do you update your message regularly to make sure that people won't get the same message for their 30th birthday and 31st birthday?
Right, I do that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
By the way, anybody else in the audience wants to answer Gabriel's concern, like... among the speakers or anybody else?
I have a question. Thank you, Gabor, for your presentation. It's very interesting and inspiring. And indeed, like Gabriel, sometimes I suffer from, I would try to say some automatic answers or yes, it's not always very good done, but I think that you're right. If you can do that, if you can master that, I think it could be very interesting in terms of time consuming. I have two questions. The first is, what do you think about defining your persona? Because from my opinion, the persona is a start from everything. Right. And I think that I would be very interested to hear you with on this topic. It's my first question.
Okay, thanks, David. So yeah, I agree with you. So persona has nothing to do with social. It's all about marketing, and it's all about relationship, right? So it's for me, it's a continuous work, especially now in the last 12 months that we know that the behavior, so the digital behavior of our targets have drastically changed. And with my team, I review my persona on a quarterly basis. And the good thing is once you start it, then you get data and you can verify the assumption you did with your persona. You have real data. I go on my Google Analytics and all that. And that's how I can refine my persona. And it helps me also to adapt all my content plan, my content strategy, depending on the persona, right? But in my case, my persona number one, he's called Eric, and Eric hates internet. He hires me because he hates it, right? So the best way to reach my persona is not using digital, is making speaking engagement or going networking groups, which I cannot do anymore. So I have a big issue here.
Okay, thank you. I have a second question. Thank you so much for your answer. Second question is, I agree totally with you with your first one of your first graph when you show that if you want to gain more customers, you need to gain them at the first stage of their customer journey. But it means to me it means that on this stage most of the time they are not sure what to buy. They're not sure if they need this the service you want to sell, and they also don't know most of the time you or your brand. And the question is to me is how here you can build confidence, you can build your brand at this very early stage, and especially when you are on an automation process. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you point. So I will ask you one very easy question, David. Is do you know how much of your time or how much of the time of a human being is in a purchasing mode, in a buying mode?
I would say 10%.
It's 3 to 5%. So you need to be lucky enough to be in 3 and 5% of his time that you will catch him for. So what do you do about the other 95, 97%? It's building relationship, right?
Yeah.
You have to raise his awareness. That's one factor. So, and one other thing, it's a lot of social platforms which are not engaging. You have what we call a silent audience, and it's about 95% of your connection. And this silent audience, do you know when I realize I have a silent audience? Is when I go conference, when I go pitching, I have 100 people in the room, and they all come at the end of the meeting and say, "Hey, Gabor, it's so great, I know you." And I don't know you. You're not even commenting or liking my thing on LinkedIn. And that's how I realize how big is my silent audience. So keep doing it. And people, when they get fed up, they will be very vocal. Don't worry about that. If you piss them off, they're going to be vocal.
Thank you, Gabor.
But I have, Loic, I think we have Céline who raised her hand.
Yeah. Let me, okay, I handle it. Céline, it's your time to shine. Go on, Céline.
Good morning,
ask your
everybody.
question.
Sorry for not showing before. I'm still having breakfast time. Hi, Gabor. Hi, Loic. My question is more the content sharing. I mean, it is clear you have to be present on LinkedIn if you want to attract attention of potential clients. But I was thinking about how do you define or develop your content sharing strategy? How do you find, where do you start, which topic, how do you choose your topic, depending of course of your métier, but I will believe that somehow you have to define for the next 6 months or the next 3 months, how do you want to communicate? So how do you develop theoretically a strategy, and what is your example, for example?
So content strategy, very good point. So content strategy, how I do it and how I teach it when I'm teaching at the university, it's all start with the persona. So now we're what we call in a customer centric, it's all client centric. So you need to identify what's your persona. And when you do this exercise, you will figure out what their pain point, what are the typical questions. And then once you know what are their typical question, typical interest, you will have to write subject on this matter. And if you want to shine, if you want to differentiate, you need to be authentic. So I will not write about women voting right in Switzerland because I won't sound authentic on this matter. But I know that's a topic which is really hot from some of my persona. So what I do, I focus on my persona, then I try to figure out which are the subjects which matters to them. And then I try to align myself and see, am I authentic to write on this subject? Am I authentic to talk about it? Right? And that's how I do it. But there was one point I wanted to go back on your comment, Sally. Be aware that LinkedIn is only one of the touch points of your audience, of your customer, of your prospect. Mm-hmm. They won't spend all their time on LinkedIn, and that will not be the only source of information to them. So
okay, because at the beginning you said that what is the best place to act was LinkedIn, not Twitter was also there, but it's one of the best.
Among social media, but people are not watching the entire day social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have to mix the web and social media, by the way. Sometimes we have very important sessions on that subject.
So this hot topic, and we were discussing about Clubhouse, but one efficient way for me, which was a key differentiator for the last months, is podcast. I have good success with podcast because the people who are really interested in me, they are downloading some podcasts now. That's a great way to influence them too.
Okay,
Thank you.
By the way, Céline, I think in the session from 10 to 11 on develop a strong personal brand during crisis, we will, of course, with Roger and Betty, address also this content, not issue, but this content topic. And the same when we talk about hire or get hired by leveraging LinkedIn, you have to develop content when you want to get hired, etc., etc. So in many of the sessions, we will talk about this. By the way, I give you the program. 9 to 10, we talk about remote selling, very important today. Yeah. Then 10 to 11, we talk about creating this strong professional brand. Then how to get hired and to hire, by the way. And then we will talk about streamlining prospecting from 12 to 1. And then we will eat together. And while eating, we will listen to two inspiring guys, Roger Basler on the social selling routine and Frederic Bascuñana on the nudge, which is the new pitch. Okay? Inspiring. And then we finish with the workshops. By the way, the workshops are not streamed. They are not available on live streaming, and they are not available on replay. Only one of them will be. So you better come back to Zoom if you want to participate to some of the workshops this afternoon. Okay, it's another. We have time for another question or remark on Gabor's or a reaction from the room. Yeah. Anything else you want to ask Gabor or to tell the Gabor?
Just maybe an input. Yesterday we had this great session. Thanks to you, Loic, and interaction were great. I guess that everybody there do know what the persona is. Nevertheless, I think it's not bad to remind. And I'm great and found on tools, simple tools. And if I may give you a little tool, I define persona at 3 levels. The first one is all the demographics. So if it's a company, it could be the size, the turnover, the location, the industry, blah blah blah. That's just one side of the persona. The other one are the psychographic. It's more the psychology, the values, what they're interested about, the causes they support, the people they follow. So you really have to go one side of the coin and the other side. And there is another one which is quite important. And for me, the most important is understanding the motivation, what pushed the people to act. And the motivation could be really and easily described on a little matrix. You have today and you have the future. And today, people are acting because they want to avoid something or because they want to get something. So on the avoid side today, they want to avoid their frustration. They want to get rid of their problems. And today what they want to get are their objectives, what they want to achieve short term. So you have this clear view of what do I want to get rid of? What do I want to get? And on the long term, by asking the question why and why and why and why again, you can go from the frustration to the fears and understand what people are fearing. And on the other side, what they want to get, you go from the objective to the dreams and aspiration. And I think that with those 3 tools, demographic, psychographic, and motivation, you get the start of a good persona. And it's a tool I'm providing to startuppers and entrepreneurs to start with, because usually they say, oh yeah, I know what the persona is, but yes, how do I do? These little tools are a good way to start and avoid the white page.
Thank you very much. And I let Gabor finish this session. 1 minute, Gabor, to finish.
Okay, so guys, I'm sorry I had a slow start, but I hope that I motivated you. I hope I boosted you like this rocket, because this social forum is going to be a great experience today for us on a Friday. And looking forward meeting you. A special thank you to Patrick, who is always showing this nice blue sky with the clouds. I like this view. Go ahead and drive safe. And all of the other stray stars, we're gonna fight this COVID and be the best. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Talk to you later, Gabor. He comes back in a few time.
I'm sorry,
Gabor.
I have to teach.
Yeah. I know you also are hyper busy, like many of the people here.
I love you, Loic.
Yeah. Thank you. And now, without any transition, as we say in France, sans transition, I hand over the mic to Bashi, my friend Bashi. It's up to you to spend the 28 minutes right now.
Thank you very much, Loic. Also, thank you, Gabor. Even if I think something what Gabor say is too much marketing and not sales, and the word social selling means for me social, personas, connections, everything what gets in the word of social, and then it's not marketing, it's selling. Selling means for me, there is also a way of marketing. Of course, we need that. We need the people who do this. Why I'm talking about this topic, it's very easy because I'm not a marketer. I see this a little bit different than the most people, I think, but it works very good without any automation in the background, without spamming the people. Okay, birthday wishes I do myself because I value my network. I like to give them a good day. So that's why this is the social part. And most of the time I'm not pitching with the message, hey, go to my landing page or something, because I did this many years ago. So I do social selling since 2010. There was not even the word social selling when we did this. And the topic is, I need to make a break because Loic did something, he says something, it was phenomenal. And I always smile when I remember his words. He say, don't trust anybody. And this was so funny because it is. Everyone who wants to teach you something has something right. It's not wrong. But the thing is, it's not your right most of the time. So social selling is something with the authenticity. Do you need to produce something to get in the head of the people? So even if you say, hey, I'm selling something, for example, coaching or whatever, then you need to talk about this topic. You know, you destroy every angle that people can understand. Don't talk like, yeah, if I coach you, you can do this, then later you make so much money. So you need to tell about the steps you get. If you start working with me, then you get me, all the knowledge I got. You take everything what is in my backpack. And if you start social selling like the here to help section, and I will show now my screen because Gabor told a lot of stuff I want to talk about, so it makes no sense to repeat. That's why I will do this here.
You know how it works. You know how it works. So go on.
Yes. I need to find the right screen for the moment because it's not there. So I need to move this here. Social selling is something everyone talks about. It's not it's not something you say this is rocket science anymore. 5 years ago, people say, this is. Don't talk about this. We do funneling and stuff and everything. We spam my people with my emails. This time is over for me, long time over. But still, a lot of companies, they say, hey, you take the phone, you send emails, you write WhatsApp. If you need this, then you need to do it, no matter what. But I prefer to do only one channel because on one channel, I got the overview. If I use Twitter, Insta, Clubhouse, Facebook, name all others, and where can I be the best in it? It's not possible because I need to learn all the platforms. That's why, like Gabor said, it's the #1 platform, LinkedIn, and I'm focused on this because most people will spend their time there. Even if they are not there, if they got a good network, and everybody got a good network because they will ask the friends, customers, people they meet, they will talk about, hey, do you know someone who can help me? And this is the personal brand you already made before you met the people. So this is a very special way of getting the best out of your network. And LinkedIn is nothing else than the best network. So why don't you spend more time on LinkedIn? Make a lot of comments. I will show now my... So if you got any questions, so then please interrupt.
Already interrupting?
Okay. Whatever. So I'm here to help, you know, and if the people need to wait and I have 5 topics they want to talk about, please interrupt. If you have a question, please interrupt.
Yeah, right.
You see, but you don't... I'm on LinkedIn as well, on the live feed, to see what's happening there. Now 10 people. So what I want to say is, if you use the right words on your profile, then people will understand what you do. This is the most important thing. In the first second, people visit your profile. Why visit? You know, if you make good content, if you comment, if you share, if you, whatever you do on this platform, LinkedIn, people will get interested in what you think and what you do. And if they come to your profile, and this is the good part, then you see, I need to zoom here, sorry. Then you see a significant line of people who are watching your profile. And this is my money-making field, because here I know this person watched my profile. I don't know why, head of logistics, maybe not my targeted customer, but maybe he wants a personal branding or a profile optimization. So here I know what's happening. I can visit all the people who are visiting me to check if there's something. So my first tip to you today is, if you see someone is visiting your profile, start connecting and start talking with these people. There is a reason why they go into your profile. So if they know, if they want to know something, and what I do is, hey, I say, thank you for your visit. How can I help you? Did you found everything what you're looking for? Whatever you write, start the conversation, because they will think about this maybe in 2 days, maybe in 2 months, or in 2 years. And then it's happening, oh, if I need help on LinkedIn, they know where to go. If they need a coaching for whatever you do, they need to know where to go. So if you don't talk with the people, there is no chance. That's why I'm not a fan of automation, because if you just send a hello message or a happy birthday message, and this is not really personal, they know, they feel. Some people even say to me, hey, how do you did this automated tool, this text? I say, it's not automated. How can I know that your post from yesterday was about this topic? Not possible. So, this makes trust. Trust is something you can't buy. Okay, you can buy, but when your profile is strong enough. And most people, they don't have the strongest profile that's possible right now. So on this, we need to work every day. Because if someone asks me, hey, Baschi, what should I do correct? Can you give me 2 tips? I will do. If everyone in here say, hey, give me 2 tips, write me a message, connect with me on LinkedIn. I will send you 2 tips. I can't give you 20 tips or 100 tips, because this is necessary. Also on the profile, there is not the goal to be the perfect profile. It's the goal to be digitally you. This is the goal, because you can, if you say, hey, I'm the best in this, I do this, people will understand. But if you don't provide the service for exactly what you say, then you're kind of a liar. And who wants to work with a liar? So this is very, very important for me, because I take this really, really personal. And there's a lot of things you can do also with Sales Navigator. So people, they say, oh, do I need Sales Navigator? If you want to make money, I say yes, because you know much more about your customer than usually. You can do a lot of things without. I also train this. So I give a lot of sessions because, hey, I don't want to spend 50 euros or 100 or 900 Swiss francs a year. Can you help me? I said, yeah, but there's a lot of workaround you can do without, but it's not that convenient. So because you pay for a tool. So one thing I want to talk about is groups today. A lot of people say groups are not that good. They right, for them that's not good. But if you have the chance to build your audience, to build and connect with people in your field or your target area, then you need to use the groups, because it's very simple. There is one great thing on groups is if you're in a group, and I show you here live, then this is my group, by the way. So I see a lot. There's 2,804 people in this group, only Swiss people. So I only let Swiss people in. Sorry, Leuke, I want you, but only Swiss people from Switzerland can get in here. And the thing is, even if I'm not connected, I scroll down, because this is the new people. So I scroll a little bit down. If I see, I go to the page 5. If I see someone who's not connected with me, I can still write with this person. And now I choose Vanessa Kammermann. So I will show you something, because a lot of people don't get this because they don't see it. And it's very important that you can see this today, from today on. You see, this is Vanessa Kammermann. She's from Switzerland, from Zurich, and she has groups here, gemeinsame Gruppe. So if I go in here, I say, oh, she's also in the Swiss marketing group. That means, for me, if I want to write with her, and if I'm not connected, and this is the proof, not connected, 2nd degrees, but I can go in here and I can write here, the Vanessa Kammermann, a message. I go into the group. This is now another group. And I can write Vanessa Kaufmann, even if I'm not connected. So this is a unbelievable power. LinkedIn opened this for COVID reasons, to get more connections, and a lot of people didn't get used to it. So they know, yes, I know I can, but they forget to do it. And that's why this is very important. There are also a lot of people in here. So I can write here Vanessa. So you see Vanessa Kammermann, also another Vanessa, I don't know. Now I can write Vanessa in here. So I already wrote here on 5th February, I've already wrote. So you see, this is something you need to do if you want to get the right connections. You see someone, check their profile. You see there's a group, in the same group, then you can write them without get connected. So this is something I really love to do, because people get surprised and say, hey, we are not connected. How can you write me? And I say, hey, it's very easy. So that's why I prefer to do a lot of things. Also, if you got LinkedIn for social selling, it means for me to get the most interaction as possible. So go to the profiles. You see someone, Eduardo is also here. He liked my, oh no, he tagged me. So if you see something like this, then say thank you, give response. If someone talks about you, then please respond, because why should the future other people name or tag you or comment on your stuff if you don't interact now? There is no reason. So sometimes it's very difficult to do this. Some days, for example, now I get tagged the last few days a lot. I didn't have time to comment, but this wasn't meant in a bad way, but I'm fully booked, I can. So, but if you have the possibility to comment a lot, then do it. People will recognize you, but only speak on your topic that you know. This is also very important, because LinkedIn gives you a chance to be an expert in your field. And if you use it correctly, everyone will know what you do, because people will talk about people. This is something very normal. And in my experience, this is crazy. Yesterday night, I became an email. Somebody talks about me. He didn't tell me who, and wrote me at 8 o'clock in the evening a mail. Hey, I want to work with you. I checked your services. When can we talk about it? So this is a social selling funnel. What's happening? The social selling funnel is not like the marketing funnel. You throw in there 1 million people and legs, heads, and fingers fall down. This is the old way of marketing, in my opinion. So I'm sorry to say this. My social selling line is straight. And there is a part where you have the interactions, the posts and stuff. After that, there is a black, I say the black matter in social selling, where the customer is in it, talk about you, research your stuff, and when he is ready, he will contact you. So in the last 3% of the sales process, the person will contact you. But the good thing is, if someone has already made the decisions, checked everything what they need to know, so they come back in the end of the field and they are willing to buy. So there's like a filter. You don't sell stuff to people they don't need. If you turn around social selling as a sales reverse engineering process, it's communication before, interaction, maybe not even an interaction. I have a lot of customers, they never liked or commented anything of what I did. But in the end, they know everything and they will buy when they are ready. And this is, for me personally, a social selling process when you didn't talk with your customer, but they know you, they know your pricing, they know your services, and then you sell very easy. I have, 79% of the people who come in like this, 79, when they come, I sell. And not even sell, I say, hey, I can help you with this. I'm not trying to sell. This is the main goal for me. And this is working not only for me, for others as well. If you're an expert in your field, this will happen, I promise you. But you need the right content, you need the right visibility, the personal brand, you need the interactions, you need a good profile, you need a lot of fans. I don't say fans, but people who support what you do because they believe in that what you do. This could be customer, non-customer, friends, other brands, even your opponent in your business, your next target, you're fighting with this guy for the same customer. But sometimes this happened to me as well. I don't have any resources to get new customers. What I do is I give them to other people. Because there's no bad feeling to give someone else. We're all here on the business platform. Everyone needs the bread at home. So everyone needs to make money. That's why I love to share. If I got something to share, I love to share it. And it works very good, because when these people have businesses they can't handle, they will provide it to me. And if I can, I will do. Even, for example, I work with Roger as well. He goes in 2-3 weeks, he goes to a big customer of mine because I can't speak Italian. So I give it to him. He makes the money now, and that's fine for me, because my goal is to satisfy my customer. And this is the most important thing. So it's not about me or about yourself. It's about us. And it's a giving platform. LinkedIn is a giving platform. If you help others, they will, if they're good people, of course, but they will help others as well. For example, I have started something new. You see my profile and you see my picture. Here to help. This is something not even new for me. I do this since 4 years. Here to help, the hashtag. I posted the first hashtag with this hashtag, and now it's like common 900 people using this. It's great. And if someone wants a here to help and he has the mentality, send me a message. I will give you this picture with your face on it. And this is very, very good, because people will see this and know, this is a good guy, and we will help, and we will do a lot of things together. So yes, I have still time, right?
Yeah, if you want to interact with the people, you can stop or you can continue. It's up to you.
Okay, then I ask the first questions to the audience. Do you have any problems with anything that I said right now?
Can you stop your sharing, or don't you want? Yes, do you want to show it? Whatever. It's up to you. I do it. Okay, no, I do. Done. I did it. It's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's start the discussion then. Ask your question again.
So do you have anything,
Olivier,
a problem with anything what I said already? So if there is something, please ask. I want to really help you today.
Olivier first. Olivier, go.
Thanks. Well, thanks for your presentation. It was great. But more than yourself, the content is great. Now the main topic I wanted to see with you is there's such numerous, an enormous amount of content in what we are supposed to implement to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
The thing from my perspective is by what should I start? I mean, of course, building the communication strategy is the key point. Or only that very first part is not easy to implement by everyone, because not everyone knows his objectives, where he comes from, and put this all on the table, sort this in an efficient way is not that obvious. So then when you go...
So what is your question, Olivier?
My question is, what do you start with when you start from scratch? Which is not necessarily my case, but where do you start with?
Oliver, this is a good question, and I get this question a lot. And there's a very simple answer to it. If you have customers, right, Oliver, you have customers?
Yes, he has.
Yes, good, I guess. So then start with the question of your existing customers. Very simple. Because then you provide the question, people will understand, oh, I have the same issues, same problems, obstacles, whatever, and you present the answer as well in the same post. And if you start doing this by, every day, every 3 days, every week, then people will understand you're the guy who's, if I need something, they need to go. So if you say, how can I start? This is the best start, because in the beginning, you have maybe 50 views, 500 views, 10,000 views, whatever, how many it is, people will see it. Even if they don't like or interact, people will see. Because I told you before, a lot of people, they buy from me without any likes or comments. So that means if I have a reach, last year I had 3.5 million reach of LinkedIn views only, and this was an impact, and this impact will bring me in 2022 from 2020, because people will remind it. But very important is also that you not only post once a month. So you need to make like a system for you. Also, if you can't handle it, then please go to Gabor. He can help you with the tools. I'm not the fan of it, because if I post and pray, there's no interaction. So you need to be there where the people are, and they are on your feet if they have a question. And if you don't interact, you lose a lot of potential. That's why I hope my answer is good for you.
Yes, very good. Thanks.
Thank you. And another question to Bashi. Please raise your hand either digitally or like this. Tina, Gero, who just joined us. Gabriel, you are still with us so far. Bruno, who just joined. He's the next speaker, by the way. Anne, any question?
No, it's just a comment. It's actually very time consuming if you do posts every day, because if you don't automate it and you want to personalize it, it's very time consuming, and at the same time you want to follow up the responses, right, of your customers or the people that responded to you. So how do you manage your time?
Okay, I have a few tricks, Anne. They're quite simple. One of them is my mobile. My mobile can, if you have Google, for example, Google Notes, you can make speak to text. Very simple. If you have ideas, then save it on your Google Keep, Google Notizen, Google Keep. And then you have content ideas every day, because if you are trained, and this is a training, is nothing else. So the first 90 posts is the most important thing, because if you start doing a routine, then you're trained. A lot of people, I say, hey, put it in your calendar. Every day, 15 minutes, content creation. Even if you don't post, create first. Then you can distribute it whenever you're ready. If you don't have time, don't post, because you can't interact. But if you prepare a backlog communication to many, then you have the chance to interact then when you're ready. So I don't say post every day 3 times. I'm doing it because I don't care. I give so much value, I don't care if the people like it or unfollow me, because every day, yesterday I had about 10 new contacts without sending anything. And this is what's happening when you produce stuff. So Anne, produce content, produce it. Even if they're just 3 sentences, produce it. You see some ideas, follow your hashtags, for example, your hashtags in your business field, then get ideas from other posts. Don't copy, but think about it and make another way that's correct to you. Yeah,
I think we will come back to this subject during the day. By the way, Annette, who's just joined us, Annette, you should put away your background, your bad background, because it doesn't work while you are driving. It's very bad that you have this background, which is how do we call it on Zoom? The whatever, this kind of crappy background. Hello, Annette. How are you? Are you still looking for a job, Annette?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so you have to be with us between 11 and 12 at least, yeah? Okay?
Yeah.
And this afternoon also.
I'll do my very best, because I had some appointments, unfortunately, so I didn't know that it was tomorrow's today's session. So I apologize, but I will always be, popping in and out. And,
okay.
And as I'm driving, I don't want to play on my telephone to take away the background. So don't just listening, and don't look at me then.
So get rid of now.
Get rid of your video or get rid of the false background, which is okay now. Okay. You have a false background. It's not the real background, which is very bad. Okay, Stéphane, you had a question.
Yes. First of all, I'm totally agree with Bashi. Because I'm most human oriented. So my question is about producing text and post and so on. We can see more and more copy-paste posts to be seen as an expert without any sources. In France, there is a group called Copy-Paste, who hunt this kind of topics. What do you think about the mode, the way, the actual way to copy paste without any sources to be seen as an expert? Yeah, there's a lot of people answered, share this kind, like it, to make a lot of like, to make a lot of share to be seen, but with nothing right about it.
Stop this crap.
Yeah.
Okay, go on, Gabi, answer this and we finish. Bashi, sorry.
Okay.
Bashi.
So, a good question. Confucius says, you know this, Confucius says, so it makes no sense to talk about other people who say something. It makes no sense because it's not your personal brand, it's not authentic, it's not your thinking, it's not your service, it's nothing at all. That's why. Produce your own content. If you say Confucius says, then please do it inside the post and not in the head picture or in the beginning, because people won't listen. If you hunt for likes, then you do this because people know, if you say something that others say, Bill Gates said this yesterday, Elon Musk said this, then maybe you got the likes because they have fans. But they are not your next customers. So that's why I'm not doing it at all since years. I say, since 2018, I say, if someone is doing this, he's not an expert at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Copy content from saying from others, then you're not an expert. You can't be. You can steal the content, rewrite it, make your idea, make it your own, own it. This is the solution. If you do produce something, own it. For me, it's also even worse because I have, I don't know in English, legasthenie. It means I can't write very well because I have this issue, but I post 2,000 posts a year. But if I can do it, everyone can do it. So please.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think we have to thank, and this is the way we say bravo, yeah, on Zoom. So if those of you who have their camera on, nice that we are 12 with the camera, 13 now, 14, just do this to thank Bashi, and Bashi will come back He will come back. At what time will he come back?
I'm not coming back because
he's not coming back.
No, I'm not coming back. Your only chance to connect with me.
So what you do, you chat with him a little bit. If you are not interested in remote selling, chat with him a little bit, and then he will leave us. But now, no, don't do it, because Bruno will not be happy if you don't listen to his keynote.
I have priorities, and Friday afternoon, my daughter is number one. That's why I leave everything at 12, go home and spend the whole...
but we are not 12, we are 9, by the way.
I know,
so
but now I have to
anyway,
work.
we stop the streaming. If you are on stream now, right now on live streaming, you have to come back in 2 minutes for the next stream. Okay, so stop streaming now. At streaming, it takes a little while until the stream catches me. So that's why I say a little bit blah, blah, blah in the beginning. And then I put my signature, which you don't hear on Zoom because it's only for those who get us on streaming. And this is the 75th Social Selling Forum, the 5th one in English and the first online in English, so that everybody from Geneva or from Annemasse can come and listen to wherever in the world. But as I said to Anne, it's not because you put it open to everybody that everybody comes. It's better to be focused when you do this kind of forum. So thank you for being here. If you are on LinkedIn, on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, you should join us on Zoom. It's much better to interact on Zoom. We interact live, not a little bit with the chat in these platforms, but mostly live. So the session right now is how to learn to sell through a screen. Now, what Bruno calls remote selling, some others call it video selling, visio selling, whatever. Is through a screen, and especially a live stream or videos, but also through your social selling screen, of course. Okay, so we have the happy possibility to get Bruno, a French guy who will deliver these keynotes. Mostly here it will be Swiss guys and girls, not girls, how do we say it? Madame Betty, like, for example. Okay, Bruno, it's up to you. You start. Go on.
Thank you, Loic. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very, very happy to be today in Switzerland. It took me about 10 minutes to come from Paris, where I'm based, and I'm happy to be with you for a debate about remote selling. I'm not the only one calling that remote selling, Loic. We American people say remote selling, and many people in the world say remote selling, but anyway, through a screen is okay, and everything is okay. So I will be with you and other, I have some colleagues on remote selling for a debate. And just before that, I would like to share a few ideas and maybe some practices, but I won't go too far on the how, because I think we'll have something like 45 minutes to talk about that after. So I am a business coach. Sometimes you show my profile, Loic, but maybe today not, because it's in French. But I'm a business coach. I help B2B companies to improve and to set up the way they sell. So of course I had to work a lot in last year on remote selling. But what I would like to share with you now is that it's not finished, and all the work we've done on that is will be very useful for this year and years after. So I guess you see my screen, yes?
Oh yeah, very well. I put you on, speaker mode, yeah, not gallery mode, if you can, yeah.
Okay. So why shall we continue to use remote selling in 2021? I would say why? There are, let's say, negative reasons and there's positive reasons. First thing is what I think is we have no choice. Why we have no choice? It's just because people work more and more on remote. Some companies decided that it would be their way to work, and maybe some of them will not have offices, or more or less not offices. Then it will be very, very difficult to meet people for a long time, maybe forever. I mean, let's just imagine we want to meet two persons. Probably one will be at the office on, I don't know, on Wednesday, but the other one would be at home. So you always have the problem with people working maybe 5 days a week at home, but some of them 4 days a week, sometimes some of them 3 days a week. Anyway, it will be very, very difficult to meet people, and I think it's for a long time. The other thing, you know, there was a study from McKinsey, which is just a few months ago, October 2020. And what I saw is that only something like 20% of buyers, B2B buyers, expect and want face-to-face to come back. So I think that salespeople who say it's just a parenthesis, everything will go as it was before, I think they're wrong. They're wrong, because we really have a paradigm shift, which is that buyers, you know, what buyers want, it probably is not a physical relationship. What they want is that salespeople take care of them, that the salespeople improve their lives. But if we can do that from with video or with a telephone and so on, or even with sometimes ordering on a website, they're okay with that. So we have to be very cautious with what we think when we are salespeople. We think we love relationship and we love to be with our clients. But the figures say that maybe our clients, our customers, have not the same wishes. So
sorry, can I ask you a question? Or should we do that afterwards? Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, you do it afterwards, Anita. You do it
Okay.
afterwards if you can. Huh?
We have a debate
perfect.
on that, and okay, with me and
okay. Thank you very much.
So we have no choice. I mean, it doesn't mean that there won't be any more physical meetings, but it means that we have to be able to of course, to drive physical meetings, but we have to be able to drive remote selling from the beginning to the end, including negotiation, including order, and etc. But also, so this is maybe the bad part of it, is that we have no choice. But there is also something which is very interesting, is that it's many opportunities. It's opportunities for time saving. I mean, when we have a meeting, a physical meeting in Paris, I know better that if you want to have a 1 hour meeting, probably you need 2 hours or maybe more. That you have the traffic jam, you have the transport to go there, you have to be 10 minutes before, then come back and so on. And it's at least 2 or 3 hours to have a 1 hour meeting. So now, a 1 hour meeting, you need just 1 hour. So it's really time saving, and it's also quality of life. So there are many things on that which are very interesting. It's also gives you some new levers for your sales actions, because it's much more easier. You know, when with physical meetings, all the sales activity is organized around physical meetings, and everything we do is to prepare or to have a physical meeting. And now we have something which is very different. We can say that we have maybe more conversations, but shorter conversations. For instance, we can go faster from one step to another in the sales process. We can use telephone, chat, Zoom, collaborative spaces. We can use a lot of things and revisit our sales process to have something which could go faster and which could involve more buyers. For instance, let's imagine that you have you want to work with a big company in Switzerland, and this company is already customer in Spain, for instance. So you have a strong sponsor who could say that what you offer is great and so on. With physical meeting, it's not that easy. I don't say it's impossible, but it's not that easy. With a video conference, it's very easy to organize that maybe your sponsor will speak for 10 minutes during the meeting, and from Spain, it's just 10 minutes for him, and it just have to be organized in the meeting. So this becomes much easier. On the selling team side, it's the same. Let's imagine that you want your technical director to say something about their research. I don't know, for 10 minutes. It's very easy, even if it's in China. It's very easy to have him for 10 minutes in a meeting. So it opens a lot of possibilities to change and to have new sales processes which go faster with maybe with more people or with more richer, I would say. There's also a question of opportunity on scope. I mean, if you speak English, you can work, I would say, everywhere in the world. If you speak French and only French, it's not exactly the same. But now you can work with parts of Canada. You can work with Belgium. You can work with many countries in Africa, which was quite difficult with physical meetings. So the scope, it's a real opportunity for scope. It's opportunity for social selling, because which is the point of the day, because it's becoming much more natural. I mean, some salespeople have difficulties with social selling because it's something which is quite virtual when their way of thinking is physical. But now everything, if everything is remote, social selling becomes quite natural. It's just maybe the beginning of a sales cycle, and it's quite natural to go this way. Another part which is very important for me, I've been talking about co-construction for years with my clients, because when you build with your clients, it's quite evident, but when you build with your client, you go faster because you have very involved people, and you go much more accurate because you have all the point of views, and your client is always involved in the building of maybe a diagnosis, of the building of a solution, the building of a project. So he's involved, and it's very accurate. The thing is that when in physical meetings, it's not always easy to say, let's work on something where we could work together. So I know that because I'm working on that for years, that for salespeople, it's always a big problem to know when we could do that and so on, which tools and such questions. But in video conferences, I think it's very, very different, because I think everybody is expecting something like that. Why? Just because when you're just looking at each other, okay, it's better. I think it's better than telephone. But you that one way you're let's say it lacks a little of intensity. There is no, it's not warm. You don't see everything, so on. So it lacks intensity, and everybody wants intensity in sales conversation. So when you decide to share a screen and to build together something, you're giving a lot of intensity to the meeting. Everybody wants that. So it's much easier to do that in remote than in physical meetings, and then bring more value, which is a way. The way you will do that is a co-construction. You know, we have a famous French writer, which is Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Probably you know him, and he said to love each other is not looking at each other in the eyes. It's looking together towards the same direction. And so we love our customers and we want to look with them towards the same direction. So looking at something we are building together on a screen, of course, in remote selling, but looking at that is a proof of love, and it's the best way to work and bring value to our customers. So just a few words. So that's what I wanted to share. So why it's big opportunities. Maybe just a few words on how, because I think we'll have time with also during the debate. I would say first, some salespeople think that it's a parenthesis, and what I want to share with you is no, it's not a parenthesis. It's a paradigm change, and stop to the beaches in your virtual screen or things like that. I think now everybody has to be to be in a professional environment. So I still see some salespeople with very bad cameras. You can't see them, or they have backlight behind them, or they have very bad sounds. You need an effort to understand them. So I think everybody has to stop that. We have to be as comfortable in a video conference as you were in a physical meeting. For me, it's very important. That's why I wear a tie, which is something I sometimes don't do in a physical meeting. Yes, Loic. Sometimes you have it also. I would say, please revisit your sales process, because it's not remote selling is just not, it's not just replacing physical meeting with video conferences. I think it's a pity, because you don't use the strength of using maybe shorter meetings with more people, sometimes quicker, going quicker from one step to another. So revisit that. This is what I do with my clients, for instance, is to revisit all that and say, what do we do now to go quicker, more accurate, and so on. And then maybe just a few examples, because I talk about co-construction. It's just a few examples. As you can see, I use a lot. Excuse me.
Sure. That's the mind manager. What is the tool you're using as a?
Yes, it's Mind Manager, but I have just.
You have to click on the right. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Mind mapping. Yeah.
So I use mind mapping, as you can see. So of course here we're not in a co-construction, but let's say that you say we are building together, and you say, oh, I would like to have something about questions. It's very easy for me to say yes. Okay, let's write questions, because it will be very important in my in my keynote. So I work a lot with that. But also you have creativity tools like virtual post-its. We have Klaxoon and things like that. There are many tools. I'm just giving a few examples. Something like Radar is very interesting. You can show, for instance, a diagnosis and make the diagnosis with the client very easily on that. Of course, planning is key, because when you're talking about project, you have to work on plannings, and then retro planning. It's very powerful also. I would just maybe I stop with that with configurator. This is very powerful. You know, when you want to build your car on the site web, you go to the Renault site web and you want to build your car, you have a configurator which allows you to see what motor you will choose, what colors, what options, and you always have the price. And so you know exactly, you are just building with all your constraints, all you want, all your constraints. And at the end, you have your car, which is, you built it. So it's your car and you're very, very involved in your purchasing it. So this is exactly what you can do with in B2B and configure with people, their solutions, their project, and so on, and then be very accurate. So thank you. I've finished on that. It was just a few examples, and I just to finish that, I would say, no, this is not a parenthesis. This is a paradigm shift, and I think everybody has to be ready. There's a lot of opportunity with it, but everything has to be ready to work on remote selling. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my friend Bruno. And so we had already a question before. Annette wanted to ask a question from you. So Annette, go on if you're still listening to us.
I'm still listening. Thank you very much. And thank you, first of all, Bruno, for your great intervention. A lot of, especially thoughts to take away. The one question that I would have regarding the McKinsey study, do you think, or in the study, have it been mentioned that there's, let's say, a cultural difference in what the buyers prefer? Because, I mean, I have the experience that basically buyers, obviously I know, so not new buyers, but people that I know, they call me to say, okay, let's meet again physically. Is there maybe a difference between cultures that maybe the Latin people, they really prefer, although I get obviously the save in time and the efficiency, etc., but they still are a little bit more hungry for the personal contact than maybe other people, Anglo-Saxon people?
Good question. Go on, answer, and then we start the debate.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know exactly what is the scope of the study and so on. I've seen more things about, for instance, amount of the contract, or things about being a new supplier or not. But I don't know exactly if there's big differences between countries. This is what I understand from your question. Is that right?
It's cultural differences basically in the approach. And I must obviously admit, and first of all, I don't think that you know, but I'm driving. That's why I don't put my camera on. So I'm in hotel business. So maybe that is also something, because hospitality for sure sells a little bit different than hospitality. And although we are talking with industrial buyers as well, but maybe there's also a difference in this particular part. But thank you very much for your explanations.
Thank you. If there is another pressing question from the room, apart from my panelist like Frederic, who is really listening to what we say right now. Yeah, of course, he's typing. Olivier, don't have a question. Markus, Gero, because I see you right now. Do you have any pressing question already? I would say Olivier should have one, because he's longing to meeting again a lot of people in the flesh. I was listening. Yeah. No? Okay.
No, it's not really a question. It's just that we are all eager to know when this lockdown will be over, and then to find the ideal balance between remote selling and going back on the field, meeting the people we love and the people that we are quite sure will give us some business, because it's one way to provoke this remote selling, but on the other hand, it's not the whole market that is available to receive that particular message. And we know old people like me, senior people like me, know that the contact itself works as well. So it's a question of finding the right balance between both.
Yeah. Go on, Bruno, answer quickly, and then we start the debate.
No, I just want to say, yes, even if we say only 20% want to face-to-face to come back, there's still 20%. And one question will be to understand which customers want to see you and which customers are more comfortable or very comfortable with remote. And it's a real question, I understand. I work, for instance, with lawyers, and lawyers are very, in their culture, they are very physical contact. It's very difficult for them to work in remote.
Like salespeople, by the way, or people who consult on selling and on the training sellers, etc., which are many of them, they want to go back to in the flesh. I know. Okay, thank you very much. If there is no other pressing question, we start with the panel where we have, let me show you, we have Frederic Bascuñana, the king of the pitch and of the nudge right now, and of video. If you see, he's very special in video. Hello, Frederic, how are you today? Any reaction on what Bruno has shared already? Look at us. Look at us. He's so sophisticated that he has problems with the video. You see, that's the point where you are like me, with a lot of cameras and angles and stuff like that. And voilà. Okay. Go on, Frederic. Yeah, it's okay.
The microphone was working. Okay.
It's always a question of microphone.
Thank you, Bruno. I was quite impressed with this very nice presentation. I think it's a fantastic idea to do whatever you can to differentiate yourself when you make an online presentation, and that was a very good illustration of what we can do in order to, to surprise your audience. So well done. So that was my first reaction. What I like also about you is that when you talk about selling, you talk about it with your heart. It's obvious that you are very authentic as a sales guy and you really love your job, which is a great point. And it's also my point when it comes to online selling. How do you convey this authenticity? How do you remain yourself? Because when people can see you inside this frame, you can perceive this as a pressure on the result. It seems that you have to be extremely rational, well organized. It has to be a powerful presentation and so on. And there is not the informal factor, if you see what I mean, where you can show that you're also an emotional person. That's the very, very difficult part, I think. And whenever you can do that, whenever you can add this little thing about yourself being a true person and not just this two-dimension image, something happens. Let me give you an example. Last week, I was online with a potential client, and the guy is so used to have so many online presentations that there are so many rituals in place, but there is one amongst every other ones that's a bit tricky. The guy is powerful. He's powerful, okay? So his frame is the frame of the decision maker. So he can decide to, for example, turn off his camera. It's kind of difficult, we're in a position to try and sell something, to tell to the guy, hey, can you please show your face? Well, I did it. And it was a very interesting thing because, when it's Loic and I, we are long-term friends. Loic is Loic, Loic. So he can say that to anybody. And we are colleagues. So he can say, hey, Fred, turn on your camera. What are you doing? Where are you? You can do that. But it's not that easy to try and do that in front of an important decision maker. What if you actually did it in a way that's a bit aggressive, because that's the way it's going to sound. If you tell to a guy who is above you, he has the money, he's the big boss of an interesting company for you, and you say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to perform this presentation if I cannot see you. So I did that, and I realized that what you call the frame when you try and sell something, you know, the frame, everybody says that reframing your clients is a good thing because they have to change their point of view. Well, this happened in two ways, in a symbolic way and in a very concrete way. The guy had to give me a frame, his face. And you know what it was his first response? He said, well, no, I can't. I mean, I have an issue with my webcam and I will have to restart my computer. And I said, can you please do so? I can wait. But we will have 5 minutes less. If you need 5 minutes, I won't start talking in front of you if you're not looking at me and if I cannot see you. Because you know why? You are going to waste your time because I'm not going to be as clear as I am supposed to be. And I won't have your body language. I'm not going to be sure about what you think about what I say unless you interrupt me every 10 seconds. So that's not going to work. And his partner kind of suggested that I was a little bit, hello?
Un peu de traditionnel bling.
Somebody doesn't like what I'm saying, so they put music, you know.
It's okay. It's okay.
Hey, Fred,
okay.
you want it to be reframed. Look at it.
It's somebody coming from one place I won't name today so that we don't have more of these Zoom bombers. And if you have another one, I will put the waiting room in place. Okay, go on,
okay.
Fred. Finish, Fred, so that we can continue.
When his partner said...
he's coming back, okay. So sorry, I just put the waiting room. Annette, Anne, I gave you the co-host, right? Anne Einhorn. Please have everybody come into the room if they are legit, okay?
Sure.
Can you do it, Anne?
To accept them.
Yeah, when they are legit, when you see otherwise ask them a question. Who are you in the waiting room? Okay, don't let them enter if it is a very, very strange name. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So the partner of my client kind of suggested that I was a little bit, arrogant, and I had to explain myself. And this is the moment when, without going deep into the details, I'm trying to share this, what I think is a true takeaway for everybody here, because we are, all of us, we love selling and we love, developing true human experiences. This is exactly what I said. I said, this is an opportunity to establish a true relationship. This is an opportunity to try and develop a real concept. How do you want me to give you the best if you don't allow me? But the key thing is that it became emotional, not that emotional, but just enough so that we could start having a true human experience. You see what I mean? If I had to be this very rational salesman, providing his automatically and, as a robot, my own presentation, I would have said, okay, just as you want, I will try and perform my pitch. But it has to be as much interactive as you can. And when we talked about that with the client, and that's my last, let's say, suggestion for today about this, I said, hey, have you noticed that I am looking at you in the eye? Right now, I am looking at my camera so that you have the feeling that I am actually with you. I know it's ideal. We are not actually in a meeting room, but I have installed my equipment in such a way. And by the way, for those who are interested, I will show you. I have a teleprompter and an iPad, which is just behind a mirror, and the lens of the camera is behind it. So I'm actually looking at you, guys, while I'm talking. I'm not looking at just the camera. I can see you. So I told to the client, I did my best so that you can have this feeling of me being close to you. So I think the minimum you can do, if you want me to be engaged, very involved, very committed in what you want to do, we may never do that, but in case we decide to do that, the collaboration starts now. It's not perfect. It's not the ideal collaboration. It's online. But if you want this commitment to be what you expect, it has to start now. If you give me this wrong message about you not giving not caring about me, how do you want me to be involved? You know, if you want people to love you, it has to be mutual.
Thank you for this first sharing, which was interesting, Frederic, I think. Stéphane, any reaction on what Bruno and then Frederic have shared?
I'm totally agree with Bruno because since I founded my own company 8 years ago, I'm working 90% on video conference with people because I'm working in Switzerland, of course, but in the rest of the world, in China, France, Germany, and so on, Portugal too. And with the time, I've totally forget the camera to answer to Frederic. My experience is that working only with video conference by this way makes me closer from my clients, in fact, because we are not in his office, he's not in my office, we are speaking together in a comfortable way, not in a ceremonial framework. So the discussions are more open, and sometimes we can digress, and as we have the faculty to share our computers, sometimes it brings new opportunities we did not think first. It was not the reason of the meeting, and for me, of course, it's a new paradigm for a lot of people, especially for salespeople. I'm not a salespeople, so I am not the paradigm taught in schools to meet physically. But to give you an idea about this, I'm working with clients, and I'm very close from some clients I never met physically. So I think it's the best way because we have no, we are very comfortable by this way.
Yeah, thank you. So my question to you all is now, why should we do it really now and not in a few months to become, I would say, should we become more professional, as Bruno said in his presentation? Why should we become more professional in the way we remote sell today, especially if we are salespeople, marketing people, people who want to sell an idea or be recruited like Anne or Annette? Why should we do it now and not wait? Bruno, answer this question first.
Just because it's, I mean, it's sometimes I use the image and say, when you have a period of very, very, very hot weather, for instance, it's 35 degrees in Paris, then you're allowed to come with a shirt with flowers and maybe Bermuda, something like that. And it's everybody accepts that, and the clients do that, and it's a strange period, like a parenthesis. But what I think is this is finished. This is what we've been living when we are really in the coronavirus period. I mean, it's not finished, but we were really have had to stay home and so on. But I think this is finished. So I think the new, I would say the new now is that we are working on remote selling, and we have to be professional as before, as ever.
Okay, so that's your answer. Frederic, do you have an answer to my question too? Why now and not later? Put your mic on. Yeah, okay.
Why now? Well, it's always been about being more efficient. So we had to start before COVID. It has always been true. And the other reason why we have to start now is that, every business has to face this challenge of being digitalized the right way. So I think it's a kind of symbol of your company, you and your company, being committed to embrace this change, accept that we have to adapt to the existing tools. And as Stéphane said, I think it's true when you start having these conversations with your clients in a way that's comfortable because you own their home and so on. It may sound, of course, unnatural, less of course, physical. That's an obvious statement. But you can improvise new stuff. If you take time, things happen. And there is a kind of serendipity, as they say, about using certain tools. So, sometimes since you are not under the pressure of going back, taking your car or, public transportation and so on, sometimes you take these additional 10 or 15 minutes and try to open a door. And I've noticed that the clients want to do that because they expect to be surprised. So you have a little bit less pressure and you can, be more creative. So that's why now is a great opportunity to start and be more creative, not just more efficient, but more creative.
Okay, wait, I'm waiting for another answer. Still, it's very good, your answer. And Stéphane, why now? In a selling situation, in a social selling, we are still in we want to sell something, huh? Okay, go on, Stéphane.
I will just say, now is already too late. So we are in a society where information is very quick. Everything is there is a lot of pressure to be speed and so on, with social networks, with information channels on TV and so on. The way working like this is, as Bruno said, a gain of time, a gain of money. Again, we can have just gains and not waste to work like this.
Okay, thank you. But Markus, you have wait, Bruno, wait a second, Bruno. We have first Markus who raised the virtual hand. Okay. Markus, what is your question or your answer?
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. I have a question to Frederic. He just told us to be creative, to open a door. And I would ask if he has, if he has an example how you are doing this. And second, and probably this is connected together, in a one-on-one informed meeting, a handshake is a very important thing to get connected. And yeah, whatever. No, elbow is not the same. I do not agree. But so I really are looking forward when we can shake hand again. But just in this frame, now we are talking online. What can we do, or how can we be creative again to get into this connection?
Okay, good, excellent question, Frederic. Answer quickly because I want Bruno to come back.
Okay, that's a very good question, and it would take time to answer that, but I'm going to try to put it in a nutshell.
Don't spend too much time because we are in a debate.
Being creative, and when I'm dealing with improvisation here, it's about the way you create a true connection with your audience, with the person you have in front of you, or it may be more people. And the difficult thing is to prove them you are a good listener. And they said something that attracted your attention. And if you start by showing them that they are very important when they talk, when they say something, and you try to bounce on this, then you can develop a conversation. So let me give you an example. I hated Clubhouse when it was launched. I really didn't fit into it. I thought, okay, it's Twitter again with the same scores and followers and people being obsessed by vanity metrics. I didn't want to go there. And all of a sudden, it happened 2 days ago. I saw a LinkedIn post from a partner and she was talking about intuition. Well, I posted something myself, even a video. And I said, why don't we stop planning stuff? Why don't we just now open a room and see what happens. And that's the part I'm talking about. I missed the point. You have to do things now because there's no longer an issue with planning. That's the most difficult part, the most difficult thing to explain to clients or whatever partners. But so here's what happened. We were not known on Clubhouse with Emmanuel, this person who was talking about intuition. So we opened a room called Intuition and Management, and we did that the same day. So we didn't announce it. And we started, we were just the two of us, a bit embarrassing. And all of a sudden there were 2, 3, 5 people and so on. They started to ping each other. And we went, after 15 minutes, we were 50 people. And all of these people decided to connect themselves on LinkedIn and to develop the subject. And we kept having a conversation, and we opened a Telegram group about intuition in management and managing teams and so on. So it can be the exact same thing with your clients. We have to dare surprising them and say, hey, why don't we try something? There is no pain. We can just improvise. That's my answer.
That's a good answer, I think. But yeah, Martin. Bruno, you wanted to add something because of the why now.
Yes. Okay. So on the why now, it's just before when I said our scope is opening and we can sell in Canada and or Africa, but let's not forget that African people can sell in Switzerland, and Belgian people can sell in Switzerland and in France and so on. So we have to go there because other people are going.
Yeah. And we have, by the way, African listener, African participants to this Zoom. By the way, thank you for them. And we did a very nice social selling forum Africa a few weeks ago, by the way. Okay, now let's go to the how. But before we go to the how, I would say why now? Because if you are a salesperson and you train yourself doing this kind of remote selling stuff that we were discussing, or also what I do with the social selling forum, any kind of webinars of video selling, whatever, you are ahead of your competitors because the other guys, they don't do it. And when they come, they will be laughable because the standard of presenting yourself will have raised online. 1 year ago, people were okay if you had no good light, no good microphone, no good presence online, etc. Now it's already too late to be crappy online when you show yourself on a webcam. And it will be even worse in the future. So you better do it now so that you train like a boxer, Okay, that's my perspective. Géraud, you can. Okay, go on.
The thing is that I will say today we have no choice. So the thing is that you cannot go to visit your customer. But the thing is that when we will have back the choice, the proof will be in the pudding, and we will see which method will win. And personally, I still think that doing a personal visit to the customer, meeting him, shaking hands, looking him in the eyes, is still very, very important. And I'm not sure that the company which will move too much into digital will win against their competitor. So
yeah, but this is not digital.
We will see, because we are speaking a lot that the world will change. I think we are still human. We are still, with the same function, the same brain. I'm not sure that it will completely change.
Yeah. Okay, don't you think we have a human conversation here, for example, you? Don't you think we have one?
I still think that that will be better to be together. So
okay.
And
you're ahead of marketing.
Less distract and.
Okay, you're ahead of marketing, pricing, digital transformation in an area. Okay, so let's see how it works. Yeah, from the customer's perspective. Now. All of the three panelists want to answer. Thank you very much, Géraud, for your. So first Bruno first.
To answer Géraud, you mean?
Yeah, or to if you don't want to answer Géraud, then let's take Frederic answer.
I was first raising hand. I don't.
Yes.
Okay. Go on, Frederic. Go on quickly.
No,
quickly, Frederic.
In fact, the you said why now. Everybody can address why. It's the now. That's interesting. So if you start doing now, think about what you can do in 3 months, 6 months, and so on. And also, it's not just about the why and the now, but it's about the who. My job is about, it's go-to-marketing, okay? What's important in go-to-marketing is that it's a combination of different expertise. So you have the marketers, the salespeople, people who work on the value proposition, and it's about strategy. But the complexity is to orchestrate all these jobs together. So the way now is the sooner you try and engage as many people from the company inside this way of selling, the best chances you have to be efficient later on, because it is going to take time. It's not about just individuals being good at using cameras and the setups. It's the organization that has to be good. So we need to propagate this change in such a way that we can fit with each other in the way we use it together, So that's the key.
Yeah, and I think those people who master digital remote selling will also come back to face-to-face. I can visit you, no problem, and I will perhaps even be better when I visit you, Géraud, in the flesh, because I have trained in speaking. Huh?
I am hoping it will never happen because
me too.
Thanks to the COVID, you can see I am in a great house in Savoie, in the mountains. I live in Paris, but now I spend more time in this family house, and I really hope to stay there.
Yeah, me too.
Really hope. I am a much better sales guy because every day I go out walking, and I hope everybody will do that. I hope the big cities will stop being crowded, and I hope everybody will spread in the country.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I like this. Bruno, your answer or your additional thoughts? Give additional thoughts.
Just wanted to say what I said maybe before is when we say 20% of clients want to meet physically. Okay, let's understand what people want. But Géraud, if you have a maybe better result sometimes, but on the other hand, you have time for 1 meeting in the day instead of 4 or 6. You will have to see what is efficient and choose carefully where you will really spend time and where your clients will be okay and happy with remote selling.
Yeah. Which has nothing to do with the fact that people will want to kiss themselves and to meet in a bar or in a restaurant or somewhere else, which is different from my perspective. Yeah. Anyway, Stéphane, your answer.
Yes, just 2 things to answer to Géraud. The first thing is about generation. I think we have to think about it, that the young generation until 40, 45 are now very digital. So they used to go more to digital and video to meetings. And the second, I think it also depends on the kind of industry working. In my industry, for example, in recruitment, more and more HR people tell me that visits are a waste of time. So they prefer to have video meetings to give all information they need to talk about process, to talk about project, and not waste of time by visits.
Okay, thank you. There is a question in the chat. You should ask the question to us, Jari. It's Jari, I think. Yeah, Jari Koivisto. Ask your question, please. You don't want to speak? Okay, you cannot speak.
Okay,
I can speak. I'm just like.
Yeah, go, Jari, go. Yeah, very nice. You see, you're a professional in remote selling.
Yeah.
Excellent. Go on.
Yeah, the question is that okay, now we are talking about like doing everything digitally, but we are missing all the, let's say, bit more social part, like the lunch or dinner or whatever with the customer. So how do you have any ideas how to get a little bit this social part back to the digital life?
Okay,
to all panelists.
I just have an example. Frederic, you
go on.
I can give you a very quick answer. The answer will not be perfect, Jari, but it's about combining all the tools. For example, if you depend on Zoom, it's not enough. You have to combine all the social media together. And that's the reason why Clubhouse happened, just as an additional tool addressing specific issues.
Okay, Bruno, answer
I just
now.
it was just an example with one of my clients. They sent for Christmas and New Year. They sent a box of chocolates to the main clients and asked them, let's find a moment to eat one together by video, because it's not possible to do different. But it was creative. It was a way to do something together, which it was not business. And so we have to think. You're right. I think we have to think about how we can do surprising things and meet by hazard.
By chance.
By chance. Chance. We are lacking chance now. I mean,
serendipity, which is even
problem.
better. Okay. Okay.
Loic, I'm going to be very quick. I know we have only 5 minutes.
No, you make your last intervention now. The summary of what you want to share.
Exactly.
Do it now.
So, have you heard about what in the car industry they call perceived quality? Is when you get inside a new car and just the smell of it, and the sound of the leather, the way you sit, etc. It gives you a gut feeling about the quality. You see what I mean? You cannot express it. You cannot make it rational. You cannot list the features. You just have this feeling. And I used to compare what you feel when you get inside a Mercedes as compared with, I don't know, a Renault, although they improve themselves. But that's where the German cars are so incredibly smart, because as soon as you sit down, you have this feeling that, wow, this is a luxury car. This is the reason why I just shared with you my thread on LinkedIn, so that you can have a look at the videos that I do with some care, because that would be my message. You have to offer an experience to your clients that is similar to this video. I came back to my normal webcam so that you can see the difference, but just before that, I was using the good one. It is the exact same thing. When the clients are facing you, you give them a somatic perception of the quality of everything you do. So it gives them a sort of insight and with intuition that everything you're gonna do next is gonna try and fit to this kind of standard. You see what I mean? So that is the main reason why you cannot be filmed in a crappy way, as Loic said. It's this perceived quality that they will remember about you. And you have to last thing, you have to make sure you have something to say.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you want to debate about stuff, because everybody is talking about socializing. It's not just about being physical and stuff and shaking hands. It's about having a true conversation about something that you may not agree about, but people will be involved, passionate about whatever you try and say, because it's going to be a true conversation. So ask the good questions.
Yeah, thank you very much. Stéphane, your last words.
Don't wait, be yourself.
Don't what? Wait.
Don't wait.
Don't wait, be yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bruno, your last words, please.
Just, we in last March with my family, I organized Zoom meetings because we knew that we couldn't meet, and I organized that. And finally, we have 2 meetings a week with everybody who wants to come. And I'm sure we have stronger relationships than before, because before we could only meet, we are everywhere in France, we can only meet twice a year. And now we meet in smaller groups, and we were 25 in the room. Now we can meet in small groups and so on. And I'm sure we have strengthened our relationship. I'm sure we can do that with our customers.
Thank you, guys. By the way, it was only guys here. Now in the next session we will have ladies, because Betty and Petra, who I saw a few seconds here, are coming. Yeah, Petra, come back, Petra. Thank you. So thank you. We thank you this way, guys. Yeah. If you want to thank them, you're not forced to do it, but if you want, thank you. Now we stop this streaming session. Every hour we stream again and again and again. So I will stop streaming, and if you are on one of the platforms, come back in a few seconds, refresh your screen if you are on YouTube or LinkedIn, etc., and then you can continue this session with us. Thank you.